Brickman of Brickman Marketing, and welcome to the Brickman Banter Show. I'm absolutely thrilled to have back on our show as one of my top favorite guests, Don Whitaker of Test of Time. Welcome,
Hello,
Don.
Wendy. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. So glad to have you back on the show.
I'm happy to be here.
But for the people who may not have seen the first show, which they can always see on my website, your website, tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, I'm a hometown boy.
There you are.
Yeah.
That you are.
Yeah, I grew up in Delray Oaks. Mm-hmm. Really nice area to grow up. Went to local schools, and here I am. Never moved out. Too nice place.
Well, you get out on your trips, but basically...
yeah, but I never moved away.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Especially on a day like today. It's just gorgeous out there today.
Did you ever go to the Frog Pond?
The frog? Yeah, I did. I used to go down there, and we would hunt lizards and snakes, and there were cattle down there at that time, and horses also.
In the Frog Pond area?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a pasture, is what it was, with the frog pond too. You know, so we go wading through there and all sorts of things when we were kids.
And from that, so after you had a wonderful childhood, then you somehow got into this field. So how did that happen?
Well, my father was in this field.
Okay.
So, and his father somewhat was too. His father
Third generation. You never
told me. He was a farmer. And so on the farm, you had to know a lot of stuff.
Right.
Wood carpentry, plumbing, all electrical, all that stuff to get a farm going. So it kind of went from there, you know, just people doing what they had to do to make a living.
And how did you decide to go work with him?
It was a lark. I one day said, hey, why don't you give me a job? And he goes, oh, yeah, we're looking for somebody. And I went, oh, no. What did I do? What did I do?
You did the right thing.
I know. It worked out good.
Really good.
He's very knowledgeable, and I learned a lot from him.
And it was a great father-son kind of bonding thing, I'm sure.
It was. Cool. Well, you know, a lot of times there might be some animosity or friction between a father and a son. And even in that situation, you kind of feel like you're in his shadow because he knows so much. He was running the place I was working at.
Okay.
So it wasn't like he was just a worker. He was the boss.
But that made you excel. So let's talk about
Actually,
the award.
It did.
The award you won.
Oh, well, you know, there was a contest. Yeah. There was a contest, and there was a local one, a statewide one, and then they called the international. Went to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and big convention hall, and you know, it was like a test of what you'd learned over the last 4 years. So that was interesting.
And you won the Golden Hammer.
I did win the Golden Hammer.
Congratulations.
It's in my office.
I
if
know.
you want to come down and see it,
yes,
you can come down and look at it.
That's right, by appointment.
You can shine it up for me, too, if you like.
Okay. And then you got involved with Test of Time, which was founded in 2008. How did you meet your colleagues, and who are they?
Well, I met Scott.
Scott Coulter.
Yeah, on the job 20 years ago, actually.
Wow.
And so
it's going to be a 20th anniversary.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't look at it like an anniversary, but...
A 10th anniversary.
Yeah, but anyhow, so we got on real good, and then we started working together on projects. And then he was involved with Susanna in real estate.
So Silva,
so we thought, well, that's a missing link, really. You know, all three of us had a lot to offer. And so we started Test of Time.
And that's Tyme, and you build things that are exquisite and built to stand the test of time.
Oh, we're trying, that's for sure.
So let's take a look at some of the photos that we brought today and see some of your work.
That's a desk right there.
Do we have a name for the desk? A beautiful desk.
I
custom
don't know.
Desk, correct?
You can name it if you want to.
A custom desk with
it's a custom
what
desk.
kind of top? I can't see.
Actually, that's a leather top.
Wow, that's nice. Beautiful. And that staircase is exquisite.
Yeah, the staircase is is awesome.
It is. And then on the right is called a...
That right there is a corbel. That corbel's about 5 feet tall.
Wow, 5 feet tall.
Yeah, that's a big corbel.
And that adds a lot to any room.
Yeah, and you'd have to think that if that corbel is 5 foot tall, and it doesn't look it in that picture, how tall is the room?
I know, it must have...
About 20 feet tall.
Wow.
Right at that point.
Wow.
And then it goes up.
Wow, gorgeous. And what's next?
There I am, working on the shaper.
Yes, that's a shaper.
Yeah.
And that's your workspace, your shop?
That's my shop.
Which, as you can see, is quite large and has many, many workspaces because he's in such demand. He's working on many projects.
Yeah, I've got a lot going on.
Yep. Anything we want to take a look at specifically?
I don't know if it... Let's see what the next picture has.
Oh, there. Okay. It's one of my favorite doors.
Entry door.
With a reflection, kind of.
Oh, it's got glass, and then it's got the wrought iron grill on it.
Love it.
Glass is.
Beautiful.
That is a nice door right there.
Yes, you can say so. And just the way it's arched and what kind of wood? I always ask.
That's walnut.
Okay. Very nice.
All hand scrapes.
Right.
And as you can see, there's pegs in it too, because that's a reinforcement of the joinery.
Okay.
That was worked out hundreds of years ago.
Called mortise.
Yeah, it's called a mortise and a tenon.
Yep.
With a peg.
Very important. Oh, it's beautiful. Now this is another one that's my favorite.
That's the china cabinet. It's called the clock cabinet, if you want to, name it. That's an antique clock up at the top.
Beautiful.
And then
how tall is that?
That there was about 10 feet tall at the highest point.
Because look at the arched doorway to the right.
The arched doorway to the right is 7 feet.
Okay.
And actually, the door is pretty nice looking, but we can't see it.
And you did the island as well?
I did the island. I did the kitchen.
Beautiful. And next?
Okay, so that's another view of that same thing.
Yeah, I think that's the Perspectives in Design,
right.
Prestigious magazine.
Right, exactly.
Beautiful. Oh, there. Yeah, thank you. That's the name of a magazine that's very respected.
Right, so we had a article in it, yeah.
Yep, got many articles. Next.
Okay, so this is...
Recent.
Recent it's on San Carlos and Carmel. This, before we got to it, was just an upstairs attic that was unimproved. The city at the time wouldn't let them improve it too much square footage. But we were able to do it. So as you can see, we put a closet in there. That's a closet behind those doors.
Nice.
With a window seat.
Right, I love the window seat.
Yeah, that came out really
And a big
good.
screen, a big screen. Very cozy.
Yeah, it is cozy up there.
And next?
And that's the exterior of the courtyard of that house.
And the paint, of course, Scott.
Yeah, Scott did all the painting.
Is known for that. That looks comfortable. And that's right in Carmel.
Yeah, that's right in Carmel. And when you're in there, you almost feel like you're secluded from, which is kind of hard to do in such an incorporated area like Carmel. But that one pulls it off.
Yep. And next, that's beautiful.
Yeah, that's the living room.
And the beams, you do such great beams, all kinds. What are those called?
Those are antique oak beams. Okay. They're actually false beams because we use false beams a lot just to keep down the weight.
Okay.
Otherwise you have to reinforce the ceiling.
Right.
And put steel and stuff like that in it. So this gives the same look, but you can put them almost anywhere.
Well, I like all the windows too, how they harmonize with the beams and the floor. What kind of floor is that?
That's a walnut floor.
Beautiful, and that looks very comfortable and elegant. And the windows, anything?
Yeah, we made the windows.
Those are big.
We made all the windows and the doors on this project.
Wow. How do they open those windows? Do they slide, or I can't tell?
Well, there's hinges. There's butt hinges, and they're casement windows, so they just swing open.
Great.
That's what they do.
Well, it makes it very light and airy on both sides, or three sides of windows, it looks like.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
It's lovely. Comfortable room. And that one too.
There's the other look at it, going up the stairs. The kitchen's on the left.
Right.
So
Correct.
really, when we had this, the ceiling wasn't up arched like it is, the cathedral ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
So what we did is we brought it up and gave it that open beam look.
I like
which
it.
is really nice. I've always liked that.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Adds a lot of interest. And next?
And there's the island and the kitchen cabinets.
Very nice, beautiful kitchen cabinets, and there's I even like on the stairwell the metal.
Oh yeah, the metal handrail.
That's lovely.
And balusters.
Yep, it's a really beautiful home.
And
that's not in Carmel by the sea.
No, that's not in Carmel. That's in Pebble Beach.
Okay, that's quite a front. That's very majestic.
Well, actually, that's the back.
Right?
That's the back of the house.
But still,
that's the back of the house where you saw the entry door.
Okay.
Actually.
I see. Well, it's beautiful. Does it open up to the ocean or?
Yeah. Those are two big French doors and up on top too. So they open.
And a balcony.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's Carmel, Pebble Beach.
Pebble Beach.
And next?
17-mile drive. And that's Ridgewood. It's the one that we were looking at.
Okay, right.
But this view is really interesting because you can see that it really looks secluded right there.
Yep. And I like the depth. And the garage doors are nice on the right, and the windows. And
the beams at the front above the garage look really cool.
Yeah, your style in Scott's style and Test of Time style is really beautiful, unique. Perfect for Carmel.
Yeah, this one looks really good.
Mm-hmm. You should be proud.
And this is the living room again, but there's a closer look at the mantle.
So you do the mantles and the fireplace.
Carve the mantle out.
And there's the carving below the mantle.
Yes.
Very nice.
Yes.
So did you basically do it from scratch?
Yeah,
inside.
In a way, we put the round windows in.
That's pretty.
You know, there was, when we got on this job, we didn't start this job. We took this job over.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were able to, it wasn't so far along that we weren't able to make changes and bring it to where it is right now.
It looks like there's beams in that picture, too.
Yeah, there's beams.
Very cozy. Is that a guest bedroom, I assume?
Yeah, it's upstairs.
Very nice. And you work within the space you had because...
Well, plus you have restrictions from the city also.
Yes.
So basically on the inside, when you're putting up false beams and stuff like that, there are really no restrictions because it's not a weight issue. But square footage is your restriction.
Right.
Lot coverage is your restriction.
You have to be creative.
Yeah. So
do the most with what you've got, and that's beautiful.
And
Where's
that's
that?
A better look at the kitchen.
Okay, I love that. What is that? A metal wall there?
That's that's just a fire back on the stove.
That's attractive.
And then it's got the water outlet for pots.
Mm-hmm.
You see that folds out, and you can fill your pot up.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very thoughtful. And does it have a surround on the refrigerator?
Yeah, that's
that
right over there on the right.
That's what I thought. I love that. 2 stoves and an island. Is there a stove in the island?
It's a microwave.
Oh, microwave. Okay. And then is the dishwasher covered as well?
The dishwasher is, you're not seeing it from this view.
Okay. And then a wine rack.
Yeah, you got a wine cabinet.
Yeah, what a beautiful kitchen. Beautiful floors. Okay.
And this is upstairs.
Yeah.
Looking... We saw this is the other view from the other side where you saw the window seat.
Yes.
This is looking the other way.
And those doors on the end look beautiful.
Mm-hmm. That's actually a cabinet,
okay.
Antique, that was built into the wall. You know, like a niche. You know.
Great. So you can do everything custom.
Yeah.
I know. If you can, and you do one of a kind.
If you can think about it and it's possible, then we can do it.
Okay, and next?
And this is
different.
Yeah, this is just a view of a different project that we had.
Yeah, I like that. It's pretty. It looks like a wine rack there too in the wall.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Architectural art. I like that. And those doors.
And this door, this is probably one of the more interesting projects that I've done because there's a lot of carving on it. In fact, this is a really good view of it right here because you can see the detail.
Yes.
But this wood came from France.
Okay.
And it came in flitches that were numbered. And so if you can imagine the tree cut, say, 15 feet long and just sliced every 4 inches and then shipped over here. And so it was able to match the grain. If you look at that, all the grain matches all the way up because you could take out of one flitch, you could basically make one door.
How tall are those again?
Those doors right there are 9 feet tall.
Wow. And then above it?
And above it's another 2.5 feet. So then you got the header. So that's somewhere around 12 to 14 feet, somewhere in there.
That's European quality, old world design.
But this material, it's a little bit different than the walnut that's grown in our country.
How come?
It's just different texture.
Different insects
different
sometimes?
Look. You see how it's kind of light?
Yes, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's really nice.
You could spend hours staring at those doors. I'm sure they're very happy. That's in another city, right?
That's in Los Gatos.
So you do some work regionally.
Yeah,
I'm sure you go anywhere.
We've gone up to Napa.
Right.
It's about, 4 hours is about as far as I like to go.
Sure, but beautiful. Wow. And next?
And
that's a different
living room?
Yeah,
this is a living room.
I like that with the beams and the...
Yeah, we did the beams.
The mantle?
This was a remodel. This job was a remodel.
Okay.
So the mantle came from John DeLuce, who had a shop in Carmel Valley.
Right.
And he would import items from Europe. So that's where that came from.
Looks comfortable.
It's a nice little dining area.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Next.
And this is the great room. This house was built maybe 35 years ago, something like that. And the lady that built it had a really good sense of the European style.
Mm-hmm.
But the person that built it didn't really have that fine a style. So, but the bones were there. So when we got into it, we were able to work on it and give it some panache, as they say.
Yes, very elegant. Is that in Pebble Beach?
No, that's Carmel Valley.
Carmel Valley, okay, yeah, that's beautiful. And next? There, okay,
and
we've got
different
that's
look.
That's
in the same house, but it's
okay.
still a clock cabinet.
Right.
China cabinet.
Oh, on the brochure, right.
Yeah.
And next?
That might be it.
Is that it? That's it. We're back to us.
Wow.
Okay, good. And what we don't see today is you had a 7-page article in Carmel Magazine.
Oh, yeah.
Not too long ago.
Yeah, that was on that Ridgewood one.
And that's on the website, so anybody could see it.
Yes, they could.
You also have a lot of articles on that website. It's a good resource to give people ideas before they meet with you. And then
it gives you an idea of the scope that we can do. Obviously, the houses that we work on could be showrooms, except people have them as residences. So they don't really want us to have a showroom there.
But you have a showroom in PG, don't you?
We do have a showroom in PG.
Where's that?
It's in the Russell Service Center. It's actually in Doherty Roofing.
Sunset, right?
Yeah, it's on Sunset Drive, right across the street from Hayward Lumber.
Well, it's nice to be able to get up close to some of your work.
Yeah. It's interesting, but a lot of times we get our work from referrals too. Somebody comes in and sees something and they go, "Oh, I like that. I'd like to have that. Who did that?" That kind of thing. So,
well,
it all works together. All the stuff, brochures, articles, and everything.
PR.
I know.
So you believe in sustainability. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, we like to use recycled materials.
Good.
You know, so, and what's really nice about it is kind of the rage. You know, everybody's kind of trying to get on board that.
Sure.
You know, and you hear a lot about green this, green that, but really using wood is a product that you can. It is recyclable for one thing, and it's regenerable too. You know, so if you manage your forests properly, you'll always have wood. You know?
Right.
So that's the original green.
Okay,
right there.
right, sure.
And before,
green in the forest.
Yeah, before plastic came out and all that other stuff.
Right. Talk a little bit about Old World, because that's one of your specialties. What does that mean, Old World?
Old World means that, I guess the best way to explain it would be if you've ever been to Hearst Castle.
Sure.
And that's Old World.
Okay.
You know, and so it would be craftsmanship from centuries ago or a century ago, or, you know, anything that might be considered an antique. And so we have different techniques to kind of get to that style, because most of that stuff was done by hand.
In the 15th century, 16th
yeah,
century,
exactly.
17th century.
So that way you can really gain a lot of respect for the people that did that, because they didn't have power tools, you know.
Hand scraped and mortise tenon.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
That had to be all done by hand. And they had to work, they didn't have really good glues and stuff, so they had to find ways to join pieces together to get them to be structural. So that's where pegs came in, a mortise and tenon with a peg, you know, so that really locks it together. So, and then, you know, it's evolved from there. We got better glues now. We've got power equipment, but a lot of our work is done with hand scraping, you know, just getting down and
hand
working.
Painting.
Yeah, hand painting, the whole deal.
No, that's nice, and then it shows.
It does, because it doesn't look like it was
tracked home.
Well, it doesn't look like it went down a production line.
Not at all.
You know, and what's interesting about it is that then you get a little bit more character, because different people, when they're working on a project, approach things from a different way. So it's not all cookie cutter.
No, I think you never repeat yourself, do you?
No. Well, first of all, the wood wouldn't let you, because
Good.
no two pieces are the same, right?
Right.
So, you know, I always tell people, now, one of the things is that people sometimes think that knots are a flaw, but they really aren't. They're an interest, you know. So if you can get over that thinking it's a flaw, then you can have a more interesting piece.
And insects. Tell us about the insects.
That too. They're your friend when it comes to using recycled materials, because they've already done the character work for you.
That's
it. You don't have to fake it.
No.
You know, and it doesn't look fake. So if you see something that's antique from, say, 100, 200 years ago, there's going to be a bug that ate on it a little bit now and then.
Do you think Old World was like France and England, Scotland?
Yeah, it's Europe. That's where,
All of Europe.
I mean, if you think about the United States, isn't that old?
No.
You know, so, I mean, we're kind of just learning, maybe.
I hope so.
But one good example, when I said Hearst Castle, was Randolph Hearst. He brought in a bunch of stuff from Europe.
Right. There's probably stuff that we haven't even seen stored away there. We should go in there and look.
Well, yeah. I mean, they do tours. I've been on a few of them.
Behind the scenes tours, though, I bet they ran out of space to display things.
Yeah, maybe. I never thought about that. I mean, usually when I go, it's just as a tourist.
Well, without having to go to the Hearst Castle, you can just come and see some of the work of Test of Tyme.
That's right.
How can people reach you, Don? We have a website?
Yeah.
Let's see.
There it is.
Beautiful website. Blog. In the news. Yeah, it's fun to look at that. And some of the pictures we've seen today. Wonderful. Well, Don, thank you again for coming. You'll have to come back with some new pictures of your newer projects.
Okay.
As you complete them.
Thank you
and
for having me.
Always a treat. Always a pleasure.
Oh, thank you. It's my privilege to be here.
Oh, yes. All right. And thank you to our viewers for taking a look at this, and good night.